Greetings. Thanks for stopping by. Health and happiness to you. Speaking of health, I just got over a cold. I'm feeling better now. But you might be able to tell that I recently had a cold. But I wanted to go ahead and do this video anyway because this knife just came out today. And I wanted to go ahead and get it out ASAP. So, this is called the Rosecraft Barren Fork. And it's in nice Jigged Red Bone with a diamond shield. And when I saw a picture of this knife coming out in the jackknife position, I recognized that as a 7 of diamonds, and which reminded me of the Rollshambo show, his intro to his show on YouTube. He flips some playing cards, and the 7 of diamonds always pops up because it's always the same intro. So that's like his card, 7 of diamonds. So it reminded me of one of my favorite shows, Rollshambo. So I've actually nicknamed this knife Rollshambo, but its real name is the Barren Fork by Rosecraft. So let's go ahead and look at some details. You can see it's got a nice swedge. It's got a long pull only on this side. And we'll get to the walk and talk here in a second. Rosecraft. And then you got the diamond shield. Nice red bone, jigged. And you can see it's kind of a thick slab. Nice finish. Nice termination. And on the other side, it's got Andy Armstrong's maker's mark. He's the designer. And the blade steel 14C28N. So Rosecraft has been doing a lot of D2 for their steel, a good budget steel. But this Barren Fork model is the first one, I believe, that they've switched to 14C28N, which is very good on toughness, very good on corrosion resistance. And if you get your edge geometry right, which matters the most, you can kind of have the best of all worlds. So, and then you have end cap. Let's do some size comparisons real quick. So, common slip joint model is the Sodbuster Jr. by Case. And here's a Case copper lock. So you can see compared to that Sodbuster Jr., you're getting size-wise very similar handle length, very similar blade length, but you are getting a thicker handle with thick slabs. That's quite a bit thicker. So it fills your hand up more. And let's do some other size comparisons. I've got a C. Reisner exclusive Kentucky Holler Jack model with the Indian head brand. And here's another Rosecraft. This was the Elk River Easy Open Jack with the shield skull. That's another Andy Armstrong design. And that one's a D2. And I believe this was in 154 cm. But those are popular, very nice. So you can see it's a typical slip joint sizes, but let's get our exact measurements. We've got a 3-inch blade and a 2, and let's see, up there to where the edge stops, it's a little bit over 2.5. And then overall length 6.5, and your handle length 3.5. So you have plenty of real estate. I wear large size gloves. You can get your full grip. Now, it does feel like these edges aren't rounded over so much. So I would say it has a little bit of a blocky feel, but it feels good, except you can tell that it's a little bit blocky. But sometimes if a corner's not rounded, it can kind of be uncomfortable. I wouldn't say that at all about this. This is comfortable, and it fills your hand up a little bit more, but you do feel that it's a little bit blocky. I hope you guys can hear me good enough. I think I don't have quite as much talking power. But very nice. Get in on this jigging, a nice deep red. That long jig pattern's very nice. Everything's flush. Very nice. I was excited to get another bone, a bone handle in my collection. I don't have very many. So here's a nice red bone. Let's do the walk and talk. So I'd call that a 6. Get a little snap. Now I like to pinch my knives open, and you can't quite pinch it because it's got that swedge there. So, but I can use that wasn't too hard, but using my fingernail, I'd call that a 6 or a 7. And then you get a little snap here. And then just doing it normal, I'd call that maybe a 5, but I like when it snaps. I made a little video. It's called Snappy. If you want to go check that out, it will make you laugh. So just look in my short videos. It's only 15 seconds long, but it's funny. It's about this knife. So you'll enjoy that if you want to go check that out after we're done here. So let's check the weight real quick. We're getting 2.9, round up 8, 2.98. So they got it in at under 3 ounces. And let's check our stock thickness. I actually do use 3 ounces as my cutoff. Anything under 3 ounces I say is lightweight. Most slip joints are lightweight. Maybe because this one's got the thicker handles is why I got closer to 3. Then our stock thickness, we're getting, that's like right there, it's 0.995, but I'd round that up to 0.1, so it's probably listed at 0.1 inches, 0.1 inches. I'm getting 0.99, or 0.099, but that would round up to 0.1. So 0.1 inches is your stock thickness. And something that's under 3 inches, I'm okay with going a little bit thinner. I like thicker knives myself, like this C. Reisner. They've got the 0.12. I always like kind of 0.12 as a standard size until you get up to like 3.5 inch blade. Then I like it to go even bigger, like a cold steel. You can get even thicker blade stocks. But if it's under 3 inches, I'm okay with going down to 0.10. So that's acceptable. 14C, so the market, they listened, they heard that people wanted something besides D2. They wanted 14C 28N, so Rosecraft listened, and now you got 14C 28N, so a little bit of an upgrade, and they're still producing a very value budget knife. So $62 is what these are listed as, and Rosecraft's kind of got a niche as maybe best value leader for the quality that you get for the price. Probably they're the best value, you could say. I think most people would agree with that. They're making a good name for themselves of quality and price, good value. These are OEM'd in China at various, not always the same factory. They said they've used multiple different OEMs. And let's see, I don't want to go too long. I don't know how well my voice sounds with the cold raspiness. So I'll go ahead and wrap it up. This is my Rollshambo. I've nicknamed it Rollshambo, and I'm really glad to have it. I got a pocket slip for it. I actually didn't like this pocket slip so much, and I finally found a knife that it works okay with, because there's a little bit of reddish tinge to that brown. I put a red lanyard and a red knife, and it all kind of brings the red out, so it works okay with this knife, or better with this knife than it did with others. So I finally found a use for this particular slip. So there's the Rosecraft Barren Fork in 14C28N steel. It's a good value. I recommend it. I like it, glad to have it, and it's my nickname, my Rollshambo knife. So thanks for stopping by. Go check out that other video. It'll make you laugh. It's on the shorts list. It's called Snappy. And we'll talk to you later. I'm Skol, and remember, always carry a knife.